Next, we're going to talk about bulbs that are actually roots. Most people think of bulbs as having like a garlic or a lily or a tulip, but also there's many bulbs that are actually roots. Let's talk about a few of them. This is a canna lily bulb, and it's also called a root, and it has just big roots basically, and on the bottom there's big rhizomes or tubers as well. A lot of people mix the terminology, and when they grow they'll just send roots everywhere, and most of the rooted bulbs multiply pretty quickly, because a lot of times you'll start with one canna and within one season you'll have 3 or 4 or 5 of them. Roots can also be really woody. This is a peony bulb or a root, and it looks like a little piece of wood, and pretty much the only part that matters is these little eyes, because I could probably cut off all that wood and it would still grow from those eyes. I've been amazed to see that happen. And with peonies, you only plant them a few inches deep, not too deep. Most roots actually don't want to be too deep. And as long as the green part is covered and the roots is above the ground, you want the green part, and the roots underneath the ground, it'll grow. Some roots aren't quite that beautiful. This is a astilbe root, and it just looks like dried moss or dried. But if you break it apart, you'll see there's all these little roots, and they look like little bulbs or rhizomes. And it's still quite alive. And if I break it apart, I will still see that it's fleshy inside. So most of the time, same thing. If any part of it's fleshy inside, like a potato, then the roots are still good. So I have been amazed that something that looks like dirt can grow such a beautiful flower. Of course, we've got the agapanthus, or the lily of the Nile, that's also considered a root, which in the Northwest is a bulb, but in California it's not a bulb because it never goes dormant down there. And as long as you've got part of a root and a stem, even every little piece will grow itself. And this is how they multiply. Next, we're going to talk about where in the world do bulbs come from.